I've been waiting for one of these cabinets for my workroom forever. I finally found some on Marketplace. It was a shop that was closing down. He had 9 of them in total. I would have bought more, but by the time I got back from Atlanta, there was only 2 left. They're in pretty good shape. There is some rust here and there, but nothing terrible. The handles unfortunately can't be removed while I refinish this. They're riveted in, so they are going to stay where they are. The biggest issue I'm going to have with cleaning this up is stickers. There's stickers everywhere. So this is what I'm currently housing all of my furniture hardware in, and I want to put them all in these 2 bins. I'm going to make a base on wheels so I can roll this around. Basically, there will be a platform on the bottom with heavy-duty casters that lock, so I can lock it in place. There's a platform on the top, and I'm actually going to be putting my planer on the top. I have 3/4 inch plywood for the top and bottom. I'm going to be repainting the metal, so stay tuned. This is going to look a lot different when I'm done. My name is Angie, and I refinish furniture. Sometimes I paint and sometimes I don't, but I always do what I can to save old pieces from the trash. Welcome to my workroom. These cabinets came from a gift and jewelry shop, and he had all of these dividers made specifically for these cabinets, and was kind enough to obviously sell them with the cabinets. So first thing, I need to clean these up. I'm going to vacuum out all of the drawers and try to get all of the labels and stickers off of this. And there are a lot. There are 60 drawers in total. Bonus points to anyone who knows what a sporon is. I do, because I live in Nova Scotia, but some people might not. So there are a lot of products that are good for removing adhesives. I've got GooGone here, Goof Off, and just some cleaning wipes. Acetone is one of the best things I've used for removing gummy adhesive. The problem is it will eat through paint, so I don't want to use it on this, even though I'm going to be repainting. Basically how I like to do this is put a little bit of GooGone on the stickers, let it sit while I kind of, work around it, and then go back in and try to scrub it off. Sometimes it will come off right away, but I have a feeling these labels have been on here since 1970, so they're a little bit stubborn. On the other side, I actually switched to the Goof Off to see if that was any better. Did the same thing, just kind of drenched the sticker on several drawers and then went back to the very first one and went to wipe it off. And I found the Goof Off worked way better, but it's super stinky. I used this little plastic scraper to peel off any tape, which there was quite a bit of as well. And you can see now going back into those areas that I had saturated with the Goof Off, and this just scraped right off. Now, once this is cleaned up, you could totally just leave it the way it is. It's fine. There are some dings and some rust spots here and there, but overall, it's not the end of the world. But you guys know me, I want a fresh start for these, so I'm going to be spray painting them with a metal paint. I have had this spray shelter for a couple of years now. You can see it's been used. I don't use it that often because I'm usually alone when I have to set it up, and it's huge and complicated for one person. It'd be easy with 2 people, but I wanted to try to contain as much of the overspray as possible. So I put down a tarp and set up the tent. Now initially I wanted to leave these handles this original chrome color. I started taping off the handles. It took me 45 minutes to tape 8 handles, and there's 60 of them, so I reached a point where I'm like, no, this is just not going to happen, and I decided to shift gears a little bit. So before I paint them, I need to take care of these rust spots and just make sure everything is nice and smooth, which is going to give my paint something to grip. You can use a metal spray primer under spray paint if you want to. The paint I'm using is actually a primer and paint combination designed specifically for metal, so that's what I'll be using. I'm using a fairly fine grit here. This is just scuffing the surface. Now after sanding metal, you want to make sure you clean it well before you spray any primer or paint on it, so I'm using some soapy water to remove any of the sanding dust. And of course making sure it dries well before I start. I'm gonna pop off this little emblem here. It's metal as well. I just don't want to paint it. I'll put that on after it's painted. So the paint I'm going to be using on these is Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch. It is a satin finish. The color is dark walnut, so I didn't want stark black, but I knew I wanted it to be dark. And as I mentioned earlier, it does have a primer built in, which is kind of nice. I bought 2 cans thinking that would be enough for these 2 cabinets. 2 cabinets, 2 coats, and done, but I ended up having to go get a 3rd can, which I used about a half of, so 2.5 cans for these 2 cabinets. This looks quite brown now, but when it dries, it actually dries quite a bit darker, and I love the color. Now I chose to use the spray tent this time because I wanted to minimize all of the paint dust in the air, but have a look now at my filter, which was red prior to this because the previous job now is dark brown. So I guess the takeaway here is yes, a spray tent or shelter will help contain some of it, but clearly not all of it because that's a lot of dust in that filtration system. It's a great thing to have. So I drive a Jeep and can't transport 4x8 sheets of birch home. So I actually had a guy at the hardware store cut this down for me to the exact size that I wanted. And I got finished with 1 panel and then remembered something. When I redid my desk not long ago, I took the 2 edge pieces off because I had a flexi-spot desk. And I saved these because I knew eventually I would figure out what to do with them. And it's uncanny, but these are almost the exact same size as the panels that I had cut from the store. This is pressed wood with real walnut veneer on both sides, finished to a satin sheen, but it's about 1 inch thick and it is super sturdy stuff. I'm not a small person and I regularly sit on my desk and that's a 6-foot span, and even me sitting on that, there's no bowing. I have no issues about these being able to hold these cabinets, even fully loaded. So I'm going to use these instead. I think the walnut veneer is going to look great with the dark metal cabinet. So I'm adding these heavy-duty casters. They're swivel and they lock. So when I want to move this, I can unlock the casters, move it, and relock them, and it won't move. Now you can see the exposed pressed wood on the edges. Obviously I don't like that, so on both the top and the bottom I'm going to be cutting 2 strips of walnut veneer to face those with. While the bottom is perfect because it's slightly wider than the cabinets, I want the top to be closer to the exact size of the cabinets. So I need to trim a little piece off this edge, and I'm using a marking knife here to cut down through the veneer. And what this is going to do as I'm cutting this with a jigsaw, and you can see here, because of the way the jigsaw works, the blades point up and it will tear the veneer. One way to get around this is to flip your countertop upside down and cut it that way, or score the veneer and tape it off like I've done here. And you'll see that when I move the tape, it actually does protect the veneer, and that's perfect. So just a quick segue here for a moment. In one of my last videos, I talked about getting a new dust collector and a bandsaw. What is interesting is that after I ordered this dust collector, which was right before I left for Atlanta, I went to my Amazon wish list and removed the small one that I had on my wish list. And there was only about maybe 10 or 15 minutes in between when I ordered and when I removed the small one. In that time period, some amazing kind soul actually was on my wish list and clicked it, and I didn't realize, and this arrived the other day. Totally unexpected. Even though I did just purchase a big one, this small one is going to come in handy for other things, so I just want to say a huge thank you. And yeah, every day you guys just blow me away with your generosity, whether it's leaving super sweet comments or doing the buy me a coffee thing, sending me items from my wish list. It's never taken for granted, and every day you guys make me smile, so I just want to say a huge thank you. So this veneer is 3M adhesive backed, so once I have it applied, I'm just adding some Odie's oil, and I will have to do a little bit of color tweaking because it's not going to be exactly like this factory finish. You can see here on that front edge, it's a slightly different color. We're going to fix that shortly. But for now, I'm just clamping it to the top, and I am going to attach this with 8 screws, basically 4 in each cabinet. So like I mentioned, that front strip is just a little bit light, so I'm going to be adding some pigmented Odie's oil. This is just walnut and burnt ochre pigments mixed in with some Odie's oil, and it's going to look super red here until I wipe it back, and it's just going to help this veneer strip blend in a little bit better with the existing finish on the rest of it. And now the fun part, time to load everything in. I told myself if there was anything that didn't fit in this cabinet that I would have to repurpose it or sell it or do something with it. But I managed to fit everything on that wall in there, and I still have a few empty drawers, so that's super exciting. Now before somebody brings it up, let me explain this split here. You can see at the top, the joinery is tighter than it is on the side, so there's not much I can do about that gap. It's just the way the cabinets are built. I could put a solid walnut strip there, I did consider that, but honestly, there's no real need to. So obviously what I have to do next is add my labels so that I know where everything is. And one thing I did consider was having the X tool cut out walnut pieces for each drawer, kind of like I did on this cabinet a while back. That was the plan, and then when I saw it completely done in the sort of monochrome dark color with the walnut top and bottom, I really liked it the way it was. So what do you guys think? Do you think I should put walnut on the front, or do you think I should enjoy it as it is with the black on black? Well, it's not black, it's a dark brown, but yeah, just let me know what you guys think I should do. Storage in a small space is super important, especially mobile storage, so I couldn't be happy with how this turned out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.